What's up, folks? Dusty Smith here with the Cult of Dusty, the CODcast. This is my second live episode on YouTube. Learning as I go. As you can see, I've kind of changed the layout somewhat, added the chat and shit. Still a work in progress. I'm working it out. If any of you guys out there are artists and want to help me out to fucking do this better, please do. I can use all the help I can get. Hopefully we have a good show tonight. I have no fucking clue. We'll see what the fuck happens. As always, if you see fucking porn on my screen, just ignore it. You guys know I'm a fucking freak. So, let's see what we got. I'm going to talk about tonight about Joe Rogan calling black people apes. Something that I accidentally stirred up some controversy by posting. I really didn't mean to, but I'll explain that in a minute. And we're going to go over the terrorist attacks. Obviously, that's the big news today. I'm going to go over the social media response to the terrorist attacks. And if you guys have questions for me, be sure to let me know. We have the live chats up and running, the super chats. That's what they're called, super chats. And if you don't know what a super chat is, that's basically where you can pay me money to read your questions. And the more you pay me, the more serious I'll take your questions. So buy my love, folks. Super chats are under the video. I think there's a little money sign or some shit or something. You can click on it and then you can ask me a question. You can donate. And pretty much everything I make on this show goes to the Humanist Society Mississippi Animal Sanctuary. So help me the fuck out. That would be awesome of you guys if you would support what I do so I can keep doing it. I set up a new Discord. Discord, ME/Cult of Dusty. The old one no longer works. So if you were signed up for that one, sign up for the new one. I set up this Discord so I can talk to people live on the air and I can take live calls and questions and shit. So we're going to work on that. Soy Voice Your Night. This is a new t-shirt idea that we have for the new CODcast. Not a CODcast. It's the new podcast I have coming up called The Gotcha Boys, which is Vadim Newquist, the guy behind Creationist Cat. He started a new podcast, and I'm going to be one of the co-hosts. And I'm really excited about it. I love this t-shirt design. It's pretty cool. Thought I would start off by showing you guys the intro to the new podcast. It's not really a podcast anymore. We started off as a podcast, but it kind of turned into a show because it's by far the most heavily edited, overly produced, not overly produced, but heavily produced thing I've ever been involved in. So it's more of a show than a podcast. And I think Vadim and Tim, the Motivator, Tim Blake, have done an amazing job with this intro. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And this will be the opening to our show. Here we go. This is the Gotcha Boys intro. It's lagging shit. We must destroy your reputation. Gotcha. Boys are only drink products with soy. There's no audio. Fuck. Okay, well, good to know. All right, we're going to start over. It's okay. Doesn't matter because I wanted to hear it again anyway. Somebody pointed out there's no audio. I think I fixed it instantly. So here we go. Sorry, folks. We're still working out the bugs. I'm a noob doing this all at the fucking same time. It's hard. So here we go. Boom.
These fucking gotcha boys. I saw that you made a tweet. I don't like you, so I took it out of context. All my followers could see. So now they're calling you a Nazi. Gotcha, and gotcha boys. Our only goal is to destroy. No matter the situation, we must destroy your reputation. Gotcha. Gotcha boys, and I only drink products with soy and fight for ideology, and I saw that it was... So now they're calling you a Nazi, calling you a fascist, saying you're a racist, misogynistic.
The fucking Gotcha Boys podcast. So Vadim is going to put the new episode of that up, or the first episode Tonight or tomorrow. I'll link it to you guys. I'm going to edit it down into a very short video and put it up on my channel eventually to give you guys a little sneak preview of it. Really excited about that. Like I said, really heavily edited, and it's a funny show. I'm really impressed. He showed me some like sneak peek footage of it, and he's done an amazing job with it. So cool. Looking forward to that. I have Jacqueline Glenn booked on the show for Monday. Hopefully she'll still do it. She said she was going to. So if you guys have questions you want me to ask Jacqueline Glenn, please let me know. There's no reason to like post snarky questions. I'm not really mean to her. She's a friend of mine. So anything nice you would like me to ask Jacqueline Glenn. I'm not really interested in internet blood sports, so I'm not going to do that kind of shit. So, let me know. Also, I was supposed to do a podcast, the Non Sequitur podcast, again, next week with Saitan Bowen. I don't know what the fuck his last name is, but he's basically a presuppositional apologist. You guys may remember I did a video called Stand Up to Christian Terrorists, where when I was down in Florida, they were unveiling the very first monument on public land for atheism. And so a bunch of atheists went down there, and it was like a huge thing. And then Saitan and Eric Hovind, which is Ken Hovind's son, they went out there and they started threatening people with eternal torture if we don't join their cult. So I basically got up in their face and started yelling at them and telling them what sons of bitches they were. So they wanted me to go debate Saitan on their show again. So I basically messaged them, and I'm like, instead of making cool content for other people, why don't you just come directly on my show? And you can face me one-on-one instead of having to be like 3-on-1. And that would be cool. And he was like, nah, I don't want to really face you one-on-one. I'd rather have moderators there. And I'm like, dude, like if you have Jesus on your side, what the fuck are you worried about? Isn't Jesus your moderator? But he's like, nah, I don't really want to come face you one-on-one because he knows I'll fucking destroy his ass. So anyway, as always, Jesus ain't shit. And I might do that. I might not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to focus on my own shit right now. So let me start off by answering a few of the questions. Let me check the fucking super chats to make sure I don't have anything. I'll be reading the super chats throughout the show. So as always, if you guys want to have me read your question aloud, let me know. And got a couple super chats. $2 from Mendesha C. Hey Dusty, very sad here in New Zealand today. Yeah, my buddy Tim Blake, who was one of the co-hosts of the Gotcha Boys, is from New Zealand. And it's a bad situation. It sure is. We're gonna talk about more about that in a minute. I got banned on Our Atheism for talking NZ tragedy. Well, that's stupid. I didn't know that Our Atheism was censoring like that. That sucks. Samuel Whitman wants me to tell him that I love him. I love you, Samuel Whitman. You're an awesome human being. $2 from Knights of Psychosis. What was the origin of your screen name? What screen name? You talking about Cult of Dusty? Well, I was raised in the Christian cult, and so basically I just thought, well, why did I start a cult of one, the Cult of Dusty, and be my own cult? And so that's what happened. Pretty simple. All right, moving right along. Let's see what else we got from the Facebook gods. Okay, before I start, I've done a lot of videos about Islam, and I've done a lot of videos of being very critical of Islam. I think Islam is a harmful ideology. I think if you research it, it's completely stupid to believe in, obviously. And I have absolutely no problem when somebody tries to preach Islam to you, or they go out in public preaching Islam, confronting them, debating them, explaining exactly why they should not fucking believe in that shit. But at the same time, I would never go up to somebody on the street or go to somebody's webpage who was a Muslim, who wasn't like coming after me or coming at me trying to preach at me and being rude to them simply because they're Muslim. Just like I would do that to a Christian, I would do that to anybody. And, if you go out and you fucking harass people or you're rude to them simply because they're Muslim in real life, I think you're kind of a piece of shit. Now, a lot of people think I'm a hypocrite because I go on my channel, my own channel, and I've made videos like, if you're a Muslim, you're retarded and shit. And like, well, you're a hypocrite because you're being rude to Muslims. And I kind of feel like, well, I'm doing it on my own channel. They have to come to me to see it. If they go to me to see my opinion, then of course I'll give my opinion. But I don't go out to directly be negatively rude to anybody. And I think you're kind of an asshole if you do that. But and it's possible I am a hypocrite. I'm still learning, I'm still changing and still growing, and I'm open to these suggestions that I need to be better. But I just want to ensure everybody knows that do not fucking be rude or mean to Muslims or Christians or anybody. We need to be better because this kind of stuff is leading to some of the tragedies we saw. I really believe that. I believe that the guy that went and shot all those people, I think 49 people was the last I heard. The death toll might be higher now, but he was radicalized online, and the thought that he could have possibly watched my video and it might have made him have a negative opinion of Muslims that made him go out and do some shit like this. That thought of that bothers me. I doubt he did. Obviously, I think he was more radicalized by 8chan and the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, which we're going to get into more in a minute. But just the idea that that's possible bothers me. So once again, I've said this many times before, but I am always completely peaceful. I oppose violence in every fucking possible way. I'm against Antifa. Any fucking violence is basically, it hurts your cause, in my opinion. It goes against what you're trying to do, and you become a traitor to your own cause by doing that, because it makes it so easy for the other side to point out how evil you are, and it makes your side look bad. So never fucking commit violence, and don't be rude to people simply because of what they believe, unless they come up and directly preach at you. Like, I've been rude to street preachers, but only when they were yelling at me or they were trying to proselytize to me first and directly. Otherwise, I leave them alone. Check the super chat. Random Apparatus gave me $1.99. He says, atheism and conservatives hate far left thoughts. Atheism and conservative hate far left thoughts. I know conservatives hate far left thoughts. I don't know about atheism. I think most atheism are probably liberals. I don't know if they're far left liberals. I don't even know what you mean by far left. All these titles are blurred together so heavily, like none of it really means much anymore. You have to be more descriptive. The Progressive Voice says, favorite character in DBZ, best transformation. I know that's Dragon Ball Z, and that's the extent of my knowledge about that, so sorry, can't help you with that. But thanks for the donation. Appreciate that. So right after that, we're going to talk about the Great Replacement. The Great Replacement is one of the things that helped radicalize this dipshit in New Zealand. I guess he was from Australia, but he went over to New Zealand to kill Muslims in Mosque. And one of the things he posted in his manifesto was he was freaked out about the Great Replacement, which is this idea that Muslims and brown people are coming into Europe and the West, and they're outbreeding us, and they're going to take over our society, and it's really fucking dangerous. White people are being wiped out. The white race is no longer going to exist. And, motherfuckers are really flipping out over this shit. And so I just want to explain, look, the reason modern white countries have lower birth rates now. And it's not just modern white countries. Lower birth rates are really across the board. It's happening in Muslim countries. It's happening everywhere. But it's not because anybody is trying to replace us. There's no nefarious group trying to come in and fucking wipe out the white race. The Great Replacement is just another name for white genocide. They basically rebranded it because they knew white genocide wasn't PC. So these people that pretend like they're not PC, they are PC. They know how to play this game. So they've just rebranded this concept of white genocide as the Great Replacement. But it's the same exact shit. But no one is fucking replacing us, dude. It's simply white people are choosing not to have children. And why is that? Well, it's simple. For one thing, it's not just white people. Like I said, Japan has even lower birth rates than the United States. And the reason for this is because modern countries like ours, we have more access to birth control now. That's a big part of it. Women have control over their reproductive systems, and they no longer want to have children. They no longer have to. They have the option now. And also, it's easy to get pornography now, so you don't really have to have a mate anymore to satisfy your urges. It's really fucking easy just to whip up a video and whack it, which lowers the birth rate heavily. And also, medical advances allow most children to make it to adults these days. Like back in the old days, you'd have to have 12 kids just to make sure a couple of them made it to adulthood. But it's no longer like that. Most people make it, so there's not any need to spit out 12 and 13 kids. You can have one or two, and that's fucking plenty. And also, our society keeps us so busy with work and entertainment and Netflix and video games that having a kid is no longer an integral part of everybody's plan anymore. You don't have to do that to keep yourself occupied anymore. There's plenty to keep you busy. And also, lastly, a lot of people can't afford to have kids anymore. It's really, really fucking expensive to have kids these days. So a lot of people, especially single people, I guess single people have a harder time having kids, but a lot of these guys who are responding are like, I don't have kids because I'm single and I'm broke, and I don't want to bring kids in the world because I don't really have a job that can support them. And I totally understand that, I feel the same way. I don't really want to have kids for my own selfish reasons, but also, if I can't support it, why the fuck would I bring it into the world? So it's not some conspiracy theory that white people are being wiped out by the elite or whatever, or Muslims or whatever the fuck. It's just we're choosing not to have kids for our own reason, and that's the choice white people are making. And not just white people, like I said, it's right across the board. It's fucking pretty much everybody's birth rates are lowering now. So go to Twitter. What do the Twitter gods have for us today? We're making fun of Chris Ray Gun. Let's see. We'll find another tweet about that. Okay, Lauren Southern. God damn it, it's Lauren Southern. So she made a video about the Great Replacement, which freaked a lot of people out. She basically lied, and in the whole video, she actually, you can look this up, I'm not lying. She cited a source from a Nazi who was a Holocaust denier. That was the source she used, and she lied repeatedly in this video. Sean Jen did an amazing video debunking the fuck out of her. It's called The Great Replacement Isn't Real. If you guys watch that, I highly recommend it. He basically just destroys her entire case. He basically shows, he extrapolates the data and shows that even according to her own numbers, it would take 450 years for Muslims to outbreed white people in these countries. They're just fear-mongering. That's all they're fucking doing. That's what these people do. They try to scare you because they make big bucks doing that. They've always done that. You know, fear sells. And it's really fucking shameless. So she's like, I'm utterly disgusted by those sending tweets along the lines of, are you happy? To right-wingers. Would you send this to a Muslim that never advocated violence on the day of Islamic terror attack? But the thing is, you're literally making videos where you're lying and you're trying to scare people with lies to make them hate immigrants. You're trying to sow fear. You're trying to sow this kind of shit. So when the fucking guy who goes out and murders Muslims is talking about the Great Replacement, the same fucking lies you're spreading, you have to take responsibility for your actions. You can't just wash your hands of it, pretend like you didn't do shit, bitch, okay? Fucking own your shit. Piero Bird sent me $10, and he said, Dusty, finally caught you live. Ex-Mormon, thank you for helping me out of my cult, man. Take care of those animals as well, dude. Due portions of the super chat go to the Humane Society. Yeah, pretty much most of what I make goes to the animal sanctuary. I live very, very, very cheaply, and the vast majority, over half of my income goes to the animal sanctuary because, like, these motherfuckers eat a lot. They take a lot of cat litter. Holy shit. We buy so much fucking cat litter. It's ridiculous. And paper towels, man. I go through like 10 rows of paper towels every 4 or 5 days, I would say. These motherfuckers are pissing and shitting constantly. My whole goddamn life cleaning up piss and shit. Fuck, dude. You know, I should have started off with the Joe Rogan thing because it was in the title. Maybe I'll skip back to this and do the Joe Rogan thing first because I have a lot I want to cover about the terrorist thing. But let's do the Joe Rogan thing next because I know people are going to want to see that shit. I don't want to act like I'm doing a clickbait where people have to watch the whole fucking show first before I get into the Joe Rogan stuff. And also, I'm going to cut the show down to an hour. I think doing 90 minutes is a bit long. Who wants to fucking listen to me for 90 fucking minutes, right? That's a bit much. Let's make sure everything's still going. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything seems to be going good. So, I didn't really mean to do this. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. As many of you know, I got banned on Twitter, permanently banned by Shoe on Head. Fuck Shoe on Head. Her fan base had me permanently banned on Twitter. And she was repeatedly asked, hey, could you go out on a limb and maybe tell your fan base to message Twitter support and help Cult of Dusty get unbanned since your fan base is the one who had him banned to begin with? And she just blocks everybody who asks her. She don't give a shit about me. She don't care if I'm banned, no matter what she says about loving free speech or being a free speech warrior. They're full of shit. She don't care. But anyway, so I started a new Twitter, Cult of Dusty 1. Feel free to join me. And I only had like 30 followers, right? I wasn't even tweeting this out to a large group of people. I was just tweeting it out to a very small group of my friends, really, who were following me. And so this wasn't really meant for a mainstream audience. This was just meant for a few people. So I was clicking around and I saw an Alex Jones video. And I guess Alex Jones and Joe Rogan were feuding this week. And Alex Jones was trying to destroy Joe Rogan. So he put out this clip out of Joe Rogan calling black people apes, basically. And so I retweeted it and I said, video just released showing Joe Rogan calling black people apes. This feud he is having with Alex Jones is amazing. I wonder if Joe Rogan will take even 0.001% the shit for this that Roseanne did. My guess, it would not hurt him one bit, as this fan base doesn't give a shit. Like I said, it wasn't really meant for a mainstream audience. It was just my friends. I was just talking about, I doubt his fans even care about the shit. And I was right. They don't really care. And I understand, and I'm going to explain, I understand why a lot of them don't care. I understand why some of them care and some of them don't care. I'll play the video and I'll explain it. So anyway, here's what he had to say about going to an all-black neighborhood and watching the movie Planet of the Apes. Let's see if I can turn this up a little bit. It seems low to me. Where is the... Here we go. Turn this shit up. So anyway, here's Joe Rogan talking about going to an all-black neighborhood watching the Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes. So I look on the iPhone app, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I go, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to go see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people. There was no white people.
Joe Rogan just said black people are apes.
He did just say that.
Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes.
What an incredibly fucking stupid thing to say. Amazingly fucking stupid. But here's the thing. I don't even think Joe Rogan would argue that what he said was fucking stupid. In fact, right after he said it, he said, oh, that was a racist thing for me to say. Obviously, Planet of the Apes didn't happen in Africa. But the mask sort of slipped there a little bit, you know? And I've gone over this before, that calling black people monkeys and apes is one of the biggest racial slurs next to the N-word in the history of race relations that they've been called, you know, to dehumanize them. And I know everybody's like, Joe Rogan calls everybody apes, but in this particular situation, you know, it's clear he's doing it in a way that signaled out black people, as he went to an all-black neighborhood and he was in the Planet of the Apes. You know, is racist as fuck. You know, there's really no good way to spin this. It was just a really fucking stupid thing to say. But I don't want to defend Joe Rogan, but I just want to be fair, I guess. He did go on to talk about how when he was sitting in the movie theater and watching the trailers and stuff, he realized that all the trailers were full of nothing but white people, and how weird it must be for black people to live in a society where they don't have much representation. So he did go kind of more into a woke, I guess, speech about what had happened. But, you know, obviously this upset a lot of people, a lot of black people, because, you know, he's calling black people apes, you know, basically dehumanizing them. And I hate to, here's the thing, I hate to like just forgive him for it, because it doesn't really affect me. Like, dehumanizing black people by calling them apes, it really has no effect on my life. So it's really easy for me to say, oh, well, it's no big deal, you know. He does hundreds of hours of podcasts every month, and obviously a few stupid things are going to slip out, and it's no big deal. And it's easy for me to say that, because like I said, it has no effect on me. And a lot of black people even watched the entire clip. I actually posted the whole thing, so anybody can go watch it. And he goes on to talk about how weird of experience it was to be around nothing but black people. And they're like, well, he thinks just being around black people is something for him to experience. Like, we're kind of a freak show, something completely out of the normal that, you know, he's not used to. And so I understand kind of why they feel that way. As somebody that lives in an all-black neighborhood, you know, in a town I think the town right now is 59% black. So almost everywhere I go, I'm the only white person. And, like, it's not any different. Like, nobody treats me different. No one acts different. It's not the Planet of the Apes or whatever. They're not any different. They're the same. Like, my neighbor across the street is an older black gentleman who I think he used to work in the prison system, helping reform drug addicts and stuff. The guy behind me works at Walmart, and he like really loves his lawn, and he's out there every weekend like mowing the shit and raking, and like they're just all normal. It's no different. It's absolutely no different than anywhere I've ever lived. And so, you know, pretending like being around a bunch of black people is such a different experience. You know, it's just kind of shows your mentality towards that. But at the same time, like I said, you do so many podcasts, you're going to say some stupid shit, but the mask did slip a little bit. And speaking of the mask slipping a little bit, here's another thing he said, that somebody else sent me this clip when I posted this, talking about how white people have different brains than black people. And, I'll play it and you guys can decide for yourself what you think. Let me, load it up here. Can I not? I guess I just play it off here on small screen because I can't make it big.
So anyway, we can't go to there. So I go, you got to go.
Oh, wait, that's not it. That was the full clip. Here it is. That was the full clip. If you guys want to see the full clip, the full context of Joe Rogan's talking about black people being Planet of the Apes, then I had that. I wanted to be fair, make sure everybody, you know, knew the full context, because I don't want to take him out of context and be accused of that. But here's the other thing. Black man. Oh, here, let me go back to the beginning. Here's where he's talking about the difference between black brains and white brains. And I don't know, the mask seems to slip a little bit to me, but you guys can see what you think.
What are you? Yeah.
Dad's black, mom's white. Standard issue, pretty much.
Powerful combination genetic wise, right? You get the body of the black man and then you get the mind of the white man all together in some strange combination. That doesn't, by the way, mean that black people don't have brains. It's a different brain. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
what are you?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's like the mask slips a little bit, and he thinks that white people have a superior brain. He's like, black people have this superior body, and then white people have the superior brain, and he's trying to compliment the guy and say he has both, but, and I'm not saying black people don't have brains, they just have different brains. What are you talking about? Could you explain? Go into more detail about this, Joe. But anyway, Rogan fans are just going to wave this away and not think it's any big deal, and it doesn't affect you, most of you, so I understand why you do that. But a lot of black people were upset by it. But the thing is, I posted that, and I didn't really expect it to do anything, because like I said, I only posted it to 30 of my friends. The next thing I knew, this video was seen 133,000 times, and I was getting lots of people who were following me on Twitter because of this. So I kind of accidentally caused a mild controversy over this. So I just wanted to talk about it in more detail, and I don't know what you guys think about it. Actually, let me read and see what you guys think about it. I'll read the comments and see if you guys have any opinion on this. Where's the fucking window? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Restream chat. Come on, Restream. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Restream, come on, work it out. Okay, Restream is not going to work it out, I guess. Come on, what the fuck, dude? It's a live show. Help me out. There we go. Oh, it worked for a fucking second, and now it's not working. Come on, Restream. Work it out. It's waiting for new messages. All right, so I guess it's going to just show me the new messages you guys sent. So what do you guys have to say about the Joe Rogan controversy? Type it right now, and I will see what you have to say about it. Let's see. Somebody said, you ignorant lefties need to get Dusty to debate me, and after I destroy him, you can convert to the right. Okay, well, I'll have it to where you can fucking call in and talk to me if you want to. That's fine. I love when people say, I'm not racist, but, yeah. Well, all of the races are different, and black brains are usually different than white brains. Really? Are they? See, I think mostly race is just a social construct. If you look at the American Anthropological Association, they've actually come out and said that they don't think race as a biological classification is very useful. And the reason is pretty simple. You can take two black people and two white people just randomly from the population, and you can do DNA scans. And it's possible that one of the black people and one of the white people are genetically closer than the two black people are. It's less likely, of course. It's more likely that the two black people are more genetically close to each other, but not necessarily. It's absolutely possible that the black person and the white person randomly chosen are genetically closer than the two black people are, depending on which particular ones you randomly pick. So if this is the case, then the biological classification of race, it becomes much less useful, and it's more of a social classification than anything. So, yeah, I don't really know about that. That chat is way behind the live chat. Yeah, not surprised. Joe Rogan has yet to respond. Yeah, Joe Rogan still hasn't said anything about this. I think he's kind of doesn't want to bring attention to it because he knows what happened to Roseanne. He doesn't really want the fucking blowback that's going to happen to him. But like I said, his fans may not even care. I love Joe, and I scrolled up. I missed it. Okay, fuck. The mob strikes again. Build that wall. Rogan is half Italian, half Irish, so what else would you expect from him? Coming from two of the most racist ethnic white groups on earth. I don't know. I'm not going to call fucking Irish and Italians racist. I do know that he married a woman who was married to a black man, and they had a kid together. And Joe Rogan, I think, adopted the half black child. She's like 18 now. I don't know. I'm calling her a child. She's actually really attractive, not to be gross. But so I doubt very seriously Joe Rogan is. Well, I don't want to say he's not racist, because I think everybody is racist to a degree. I think race is part of our evolution, basically. It's because of tribalism. Tribalism causes racism. And so all of us are racist to different degrees. It's just a matter of exploring our own biases and confronting our biases and trying to overcome them, which I've tried to do, but I still sometimes catch myself, thinking, like just for example, like when I moved into this all black neighborhood, I was thinking, well, I should put up cameras all over the place and just record, how people react to me being the white person moving into this neighborhood. Because I thought, oh, they were going to like maybe target me or something or be different to me because I was white, which is racist, because they didn't. They were just so nice. Like everybody here was so fucking nice to me, and they've always been nice to me. And me thinking that, now looking back, I'll see, oh my God, how stupid and racist that was. So it was just a bias I had that had to be overcome. And I think everybody has that. So I'm sure Joe Rogan has his own biases that he has to overcome. But I don't think he's incredibly racist or has a really high degree of racism. Remember Jimmy the Geek? Yeah, I remember Jimmy the Greek. Fuck Jesus Christ. Yes, fuck Jesus Christ. Sure. Okay. Let me check the Super Chats. Super Chat. Make sure if you guys want to support this channel, give me a Super Chat. And also, I have a new Patreon for just this CODcast. People wanted me to split my Patreon between my main channel and this CODcast because some people wanted to support my regular videos but don't want to support this. So I have a CODcast now that charges by the month instead of per video. It's patreon.com/CODcast. So if you guys want to support this show, if you like what I do, please support it. I could really use it. Okay. What do you think of the guys talking shit about Glenn? I didn't see it, so have not seen that yet. It's hard to do the show and read all the chats at the same time, so I'm doing the best I can. All right, I guess that's all the Super Chats right now. Like I said, the more you donate, the more seriously I will take your question. All right, so we're done with the Joe Rogan bit. You guys will have to let me know more what you thought about the Joe Rogan thing. Okay. So back to the terrorism in New Zealand. Horrible. Like I said, this guy was radicalized a lot on 8chan. Like 8chan is just, oh man, it's just the bottom of the fucking internet barrel where all the fucking scum go. It's where they continuously talk about child rape and lollies and racism and Nazism. And it's like, as bad as 4chan is, 4chan's horrible. Like 4chan is also the asshole of the internet, but like this is even further up the ass. It's like the colon of the internet. So Tim Pool, I don't know if you guys know who fucking Tim Pool is. He's another one of these guys who claims he's a lefty, but all he does is shit on the left and give the right a pass, which is, the new trend on YouTube. It's what makes all the money. It's what all the grifters are doing. So they pretend to be lefties, but they actually aren't fucking lefties. All they do is help right-wingers take power and keep power. And so he's like, it's all exactly what he wanted. Like clockwork, the machine churns, all according to his plan. We are so divided that I fear nothing can resolve this. The division only getting worse, and there's no way to reverse it. And of course, I comment, imagine you, of all people, pretending like you're worried about making the division worse. And I just went to his YouTube, and I didn't cherry pick anything. I just literally took screenshots of all his most recent videos, and every fucking single one of them is him shitting on the left and giving the right a pass about every fucking thing. Bernie Sanders going to lose because he's a white man. It's just half of it's Jesse Smollett. I think he made like 30 videos about the new Captain Marvel movie. All he does is continuously shit on AOC. He even gives like fucking support to Project Veritas, which is what this I can't remember what his name, Jimmy something or another, what the fuck his name is. Basically, he goes in and he makes these fake videos to make liberals look bad, but they're all fucking completely fake and edited, out of context. Just conservative propaganda of the worst degree. But Tim Pool, the big liberal he is, always standing for these people. And just everything he posts is the same exact thing. It's just shitting on liberals. So this guy claiming that he's worried about the divide getting worse, you're fucking the part of the problem, you goddamn hypocrite. You're a fucking huge part of this problem. You are one of the main ones doing it. I mean, just no fucking self-awareness whatsoever with these people. It's so frustrating. Skip it. Next, what else you got, Twitter gods? All right, I already talked about that. So what else we got? Yeah, and the reason people like Paul Joseph Watson continuously talk about the great replacement and fertility rates is because they're just trying to stoke fear. against immigrants. This is what Paul Joseph Watson has always done. Most of you guys don't know, but Paul Joseph Watson has been working on the internet for 20 years now. I've been following him for 20 years. And literally, he's one of the leading purveyors of misinformation on the internet over the last 20 years. Every week for the last 20 years, he's been trying to spread fear about immigrants or the Illuminati or something or another to scare people, because that's what they do. They scare people, and then they sell them their products to their gullible doofs who believe them. And that's all he fucking does. That's all he's fucking ever done. Every week is like, the world's going to end in 85 seconds. His last video was about how Western civilization is about to collapse. But he's been saying that same exact shit for 20 years. It's the same exact as these people who say Jesus is going to come back any 5 minutes from now. They're just trying to scare you with the same old tactics over and over again. It gets really old. And it's just, you can just read it and see the fear he is trying to spread. Europe's total fertility rate now stands at 1.9 births per woman. Not one of the 28 European Union countries came close to replacement level 2.1. See, why is he mentioning only white countries when this goes... It's exactly the same for like Japan and so many of the Asian countries. But he's only pointing out white country for a specific reason, because he's trying to scare people with this narrative that white people are going to be outbred. But please go watch that video that I showed you a while ago from Sean Jen. It completely debunks all this fucking shit. It shows just exactly how they're lying about all this stuff. White people are not fucking in danger of being outbred or wiped out anytime soon. But anyway, here's more of his fear-mongering. French intellectual Eric Zemmour says that the elite organized an invasion of Europe via mass immigration, primarily because they wanted to import a servant class to replace Europeans who are no longer willing to perform menial tasks. And it's just bullshit, dude. Look, yeah, the populations in some places are declining, and they do need, like, lower level skilled workers to come in and do the jobs that no one else wants to do. Obviously, just like here in this country, there are a lot of jobs that people don't want to do that we need Mexicans to do. So yeah, you have to bring in jobs for the economy. You got to bring in people from the economy that do the jobs that other people want to do. But this is not a nefarious elite force trying to fucking replace you, you conspiracy theory douchebag. And he's standing for Tucker Carlson, one of the biggest assholes on the planet. Tucker, Dim's message to Americans on immigration is shut up. You're dying. We're going to replace you. They're just trying to fearmonger. They're trying to scare you. And this guy that went and fucking killed all these Muslims, this is the exact type of shit he was watching. This is the exact type of shit that radicalized him. And this is what he thought. He thought the Muslim immigrants that came into the country were going to outbreed them and replace white people, and his white race was going to die off. And so he decided, well, I'm just going to go kill all you motherfuckers and make an example out of you. And that's exactly what he did. And this stuff, like, it should be called out. PJW, Waters, we are being colonized. Our population is being replaced by people with norms and values that are not ours. But that's not true. You can watch that Sean Jen video. It points out exactly why this is a lie. And Paul Joseph Watson is just trying to make you afraid, just trying to scare you, because that's what he does. Fucking piece of shit. Next up, Twitter gods. And PewDiePie took a bunch of fucking shit, right? Because the guy, I guess, said, subscribe to PewDiePie before he killed all the Muslims. And that's what PewDiePie's fans have been spamming repeatedly to every fucking body. It's really annoying. I covered this in my last video. But, like, I'm obviously not blaming PewDiePie for this. PewDiePie is not responsible for the guy going out and shooting anybody. That's just ridiculous. But at the same time, PewDiePie does attract a lot of these fucking assholes. Now, of course, PewDiePie has 88 million subscribers or something like that, so he attracts a large range of people. But he also attracts an incredibly large amount of white supremacists and assholes. 4chan loves him, 8chan loves him. A lot of the reason they love him is because they believe the media was completely wrong in going after him for spreading, I guess he paid some foreigners to pretend to be Nazis or something, and he's said the N-word in a chat or something, and so the media kind of painted him in a negative light, and a lot of 4chan and 8chan made him a hero about it, because they think he's standing up to the media, and he became really popular in right-wing circles, who are heavily responsible for spreading this subscribe to PewDiePie meme. So, and of course, doing things like signal boosting for Ben Shapiro. He's one of the biggest assholes in the fucking world who spreads a bunch of lies, and he's fucking standing for Jordan Peterson, shit like that, attracts these type of people. PewDiePie doesn't seem to give a shit about the quality of his audience. He's like a hoarder. He just wants everybody in the world to subscribe to him, as many people as possible. And that's the way a lot of these YouTubers feel. But that's, in my opinion, that's not the way to look at it. Like, I don't want everybody to subscribe to me. I don't. I am very, very choosy about my fan base and my audience. There are people that I absolutely do not want to be associated with. So, like, if you're a white supremacist, fuck off. Do not be a fan of mine, please, you know? If you don't respect trans rights, fuck off. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Trans people deserve respect just like anybody else, you know? And there's a whole list of things that I don't want to be associated with. And for years, I've been telling people, fuck off. Like, I'm not a hoarder of subscribers. You know, I don't have that sickness. I only want quality, and PewDiePie doesn't seem to give a fuck. He'll just take anybody he can get, and I think he really needs to examine a lot of the people that he's attracting. Like, I had interaction I posted in my last video where I spoke about the very negative interaction I had with his fan base because I criticized him a little bit. And these people are not people that you want as your fans. They're embarrassing. They're not people you want to be associated with. So instead of just, you know, continuously trying to get everybody to spam to subscribe to you, maybe be picky about your audience. Maybe tell a bunch of your audience to fuck off when you don't agree with them. Instead of being a fucking mentally ill hoarder of subscribers, which is what kind of I describe him at this point. Like, and here's an example of Ben Shapiro being a giant piece of shit. This is something he tweeted not long ago. Load, motherfucker. Come on, here we go. You get to choose a lot of things in life. You don't get to choose another human being's death. That's what he says now. But back when he was 21 years old, Ben Shapiro was a fucking psychopath. A total fucking piece of shit psychopath. He wrote this article, Enemy Civilians Okay by Me, where he goes on to say, I'm getting really sick of people who whine about civilian casualties. Maybe I'm a hard-hearted guy, but when I see it in the newspapers that civilians in Afghanistan or the West Bank were killed by American or Israeli soldiers, I don't really care. In fact, I would rather that the good guys use the Air Force to kill the bad guys, even if that means some civilians get killed along the way. One American soldier is worth far more than an Afghan civilian. Yeah, that's going to win some hearts and minds, isn't it? It's exactly the kind of asshole that makes America look bad. And I won't read the rest of it, but it's just awful. Now, he did give a very lukewarm apology to this later on, where he's just like, I was young, kids will be kids. But no, motherfucker, you were a fucking psychopath. Like, this is the kind of psychotic shit where to overcome it, you would need to go through, like, therapy and, like, see a psychiatrist. And so, like, I would like to know what steps you took to overcome this kind of evil. You know, just a half-hearted apology like, kids will be kids. No. Okay, when I was 21, I wasn't writing articles about how I thought civilians should be killed, and no fucking normal person was. This is not a normal kids will be kids thing. This is psychopathic behavior, and until you explain to me what you've done to overcome this psychopathic behavior, then your half-hearted, kids will be kids apology just rings hollow to me. You fucking piece of shit. So anyway, next up, Twitter gods. All right, this is more Lauren Southern. Just show you, utterly revolting and cowardly act. May the shooter burn in hell with the rest of the world's terrorists. They're all these people are trying to, like, distance themselves, all these pieces of shit. Like, don't blame me, I didn't do it. They're pieces of shit. But I mean, look at this guy's manifesto. What's he say? The Great Replacement. That's what freaked him out. And I wonder who was popular about talking about the Great Replacement. No, it's you, Lauren Southern, with your video with 620,000 views about the Great Replacement, right? And she since has taken this video down. I wonder why. Suddenly some guy goes out and murders 49 people, and he's freaked out about the Great Replacement, and you take your Great Replacement video down. Doesn't take a genius to figure out why you did that, does it? You got a little guilty conscience there, don't you, Lauren? I don't blame you, because you should. Next up, we're shitting on Chris Reagan. Chris Reagan's another one who's like, hey, don't blame me. But let's read some old tweets from Chris Reagan. I feel like alt-right is more about your sense of humor than your actual political opinions at this point. Yeah, folks, that's all the alt-right is. It's just about your sense of humor. Nothing to worry about. And he goes on to say, Steve King's baby premise is dumb, but I do find it odd that multiculturalism is really only being championed in white majority nations. Like, everyone is fine with Asia, Africa, India being majority native, but this weird problem in America and Europe, but this is a weird problem in America and Europe for some reason. Like white people are fucking the natives of America. You know, this is just the same bullshit. He's trying to freak people out about multiculturalism, the black people are gonna outbreed us. And JonTron says, that's exactly it. It's only white nations that aren't allowed to protect their culture. So this is dog whistling. That's exactly what it is. This is dog whistling to those who want white nationalism. I mean, it clearly is. So I've never been a big fan of Chris Reagan. I think he's kind of a piece of shit. Another one of these people that just shits on liberals and gives conservatives a pass and pretends like he's a liberal while he's doing it. And other white supremacists have taken notice. Richard Spencer says, why are YouTuber stars coming out as red-pilled? Because that's where their audience and the truth is, And there's a reason people like Richard Spencer believe that these guys are a gateway to the alt-right. Because they are. And I'm not saying any of these guys are racist or alt-right. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they put out the exact same memes that the alt-right puts out. The ones that continuously shit on the libs or act like the biggest piece of shit you can to own the libs. And that's very attractive to the alt-right because other than the racist stuff, that's pretty much all the alt-right is about. It's about putting out these memes that shit on the libs and try to help conservatives take and maintain power. These guys do exactly the same shit except for the racist part. So it's a gateway. It's everything the alt-right wants except for the racist part, which incredibly appeals to them. Oops. And so that's why Richard Spencer likes these guys. And guys like Sargon, who Richard Spencer has signal boosted for in the past. And of course, Chris Reagan told people to support Trump. He's asked, who do you want to be president? Gun to my head, Trump. He's more upfront, less hawkish, and also it'd be hilarious to see Hillary lose to a political rookie. Isn't the Trump presidency hilarious? It's so funny. The Trump president is so fucking hilarious. He recently put out a budget that cut fucking programs for the poor and cut Social Security and cut Medicare. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how he's doing exactly the opposite of what we need to do about global warming? The one thing that could possibly lead to the eradication of all life on the planet. Isn't it hilarious how he gave billionaires tax cuts, and accelerated the deficit to $22 trillion? Isn't it hilarious how he protects Saudi Arabia while they kill American journalists? Isn't it hilarious how he does nothing when Erdogan comes over to our country and attacks American citizens for protesting and exercising their free speech? Isn't all this so funny? No, it's not funny. Not funny at all. And his go-to thing to me is always to call me old, like to deflect. That's all he ever does. You're old. You're old. Every time I post him, you're old. Look, I kind of feel bad for him at this point. I think he's aging pretty rapidly. He's probably not all there. Maybe we could start a charity. Yeah, I'm aging faster than normal people somehow, I got Benjamin Button's disease, but in reverse. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Chris Reagan. Next up, who else we got? Yeah, talking about this. This is Candice Owens' response. All right, so the guy who killed 49 Muslims in a mosque, I guess he was kind of trolling a little bit, but he said that he was inspired by Candice Owens. So her response to a guy killing 49 people and saying that he was inspired by her is to put LOL followed by a crying smiley face emoji. And then to say, fact, I've never created any content espousing my views on the Second Amendment or Islam. The left pretending I inspired a mosque massacre, New Zealand, because I believe black Americans can do it without government handout, is the reachiest reach of all reaches. LOL. So she literally responds by putting LOL twice and a smiley face emoji about this. Which, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? Come on. You know that ain't the right response. That's just insanity. But also, she's lying her ass off. Fact, I've never created any content espousing my views on the Second Amendment or Islam, except you did, dummy. Please remind, blah, blah, that according to the birth rate, Europe will fall and become a Muslim-majority continent by 2050. There has never been a Muslim-majority country where Sharia law was not implemented. When we're forced to save you guys again, we'll forgive the balloon. And then she goes on to say, like so many other American patriots before me, I made the decision to join the NRA. Yeah, I've never said anything about the Second Amendment or gun rights. I challenge all black Americans to honor our history. And she says, we have 50 million Muslims in Europe. There are signs that Allah will grant Islam victory in Europe. Without swords, without guns, without conquest, will turn into a Muslim continent within decades. Yeah, you're trying to spread fear of this great replacement that Muslims are going to come take over white people, which is exactly the kind of radicalization that led to this guy doing what he did. And then you're like, I never said anything about Muslim. Yeah, you did, bitch. We got the receipts. Here another one. If France wants to build an army to defend itself against anything, it ought to be the declining birth rate of its people. All signs indicate that it will be Muslim majority country in just 40 years. No, that is not true. That is a fucking lie. Please go watch that Sean John video. Literally, he shows where it would take over 450 years for this to happen. If it was at the same rates that it's going now, which there's no indication it will. So lies, lies, lies. That's what these fucking people do. They just fucking lie. And, you know, the people that follow them love it. They don't give a shit they're being lied to. All they care about is these people are poning the libs and they're fucking petty little children. And that's what they support. That's what they care about. And, well, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but since it's up, you guys know who Bret Weinstein is? Bret and Eric Weinstein. They're part of the intellectual dark web, which is, God, so fucking cringe. But anyway, he was supporting Tucker Carlson recently, saying, "Oh, Tucker Carlson's a good guy. Tucker Carlson's an awesome guy. He's not biased in any way. He'll talk to anybody about anything," which is bullshit. These guys ought to be ashamed for supporting these right-wing propaganda networks. But anyway, I just pointed out that every time they play the victim about how they were treated at Evergreen College, and I do think Bret was treated poorly at Evergreen College. I think a lot of people were shit to him. A lot of people went completely above and beyond what any normal person should do to these guys. And I think a lot of the criticism about what happened to them are absolutely valid, not saying otherwise. But also at the same time, there is another side to this story. A lot of the students that protested Bret were not initially angry at him, but the reason they became angry with him was because he went on Tucker Carlson's program and he allowed himself to be used in a one-sided propaganda piece that enraged white supremacists. And in fact, as this article shows, this one white supremacist group, the day after he was on Tucker Carlson, one of these guys went up to a bus and he slashed a bunch of people's throats, a bunch of Muslims' throats, I think, or some people that were trying to defend a Muslim, rather. And so the same exact group, after they watched Bret Weinstein on Tucker Carlson, said they were going to go and protest at Evergreen College. And they did. They went to Evergreen College. So a lot of these people that were mad at Bret Weinstein were mad at him because he allowed himself to be used in a propaganda network that directly led to a terrorist group or a Nazi group coming to their campus and making them unsafe. And they did not want this professor on their campus anymore because they felt like he was doing things that directly led to them being unsafe. So that's exactly what happened. There's an article about it. I think HuffPo wrote this article, so all you conservatives out there can just immediately disregard it. But it basically tells exactly what the fuck happened. I mean, the Nazis came to the campus and they caused a big problem and they had to have lots of security and it was just a big fucking mess. And it all stemmed from Bret Weinstein allowing himself to be used by this propaganda network, which you should not fucking do. Do not go on Fox News and do not let yourself be used by a fucking one-sided propaganda network to spread fear. I mean, it's as simple as that. And if you do, then don't fucking complain when people are upset with you about it. And this is more about PewDiePie. PewDiePie, let's see if I can pull up the regular tweet. Where the fuck is the regular tweet at? And it's not showing up. But PewDiePie was basically complaining that I guess he was bitching about T-Series spamming something about him. And I was explaining to him, dude, nobody is spamming shit more than you. He is just trying to exacerbate this feud. He's just trying to make people not forget about this feud so he can get more and more people to go subscribe to him. He's like a hoarder. Like, that's all he cares about. Subscribe to me, subscribe to me, subscribe to me. And so it's obvious what he's doing. And nobody is fucking spamming shit more than his fans are. And he's a multi-millionaire who does not need these tens of millions of dollars in free advertisement, you know? Enough is enough fucking enough with this shit, dude. Like, we're sick of hearing about it. Just shut the fuck up about it already. Like, literally, terrorists are going around screaming, subscribe to PewDiePie now because of the way you fucking spam this shit everywhere. And your fucking fans spam this shit everywhere. It's old as fuck. Just stop. And this is off topic too, but a lot of people have been giving me shit about my Michael Jackson beliefs that I think Michael Jackson is guilty. And they're like, innocent when proven innocent. That's my rule of thumb. R.I.P. MJ. And I'm like, innocent till proven innocent? I'm sure OJ agrees with you. And Casey Anthony agrees with you. And what is this guy's name? Not Robert Stack. What the fuck's his name? Anyway, he killed his wife and he got off on it. Another celebrity that did it. So, I mean, lots of people have committed murder and got off on it. Lots of people have committed crimes and got off. Just because you're found not guilty by a court doesn't mean you didn't fucking do it. Doesn't mean I have to think you didn't do it just because 12 idiots who weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty weren't convinced that you did it. You know, I can look at the evidence for myself and I can make a decision for myself regardless. And, motherfucker, you guilty. And that's my opinion. And this is more Lauren Southern. She's like, I'm utterly disgusted by those of you sending tweets along the lines of, are you happy to right-wingers? Would you send this to a Muslim that has never advocated violence on the day of an Islamic terror attack? And then here's her. I confronted a Muslim woman yesterday, asked her to explain Brussels. She said nothing to do with me. A mealy mouth reply. Oh, gotcha, bitch. Fucking gotcha. Look at that. So fucking hypocritical. So to you, all Muslims are responsible because they spread Islam and other Islamists committed terrorist attack. But when you spread lies and fear, you're not responsible, right? Yeah, double standard. Gotcha. Next up. Oh, of course, Tim Pool is going to go right for the both sides argument. They always do this. It's both sides. It's both sides. But it's fucking not, man. Like, I think something like 71% of domestic terrorism was right-wing terrorism, and only 3% of it was from liberals. And, of course, Islam is a right-wing ideology, too. So this, it's both sides. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just, they're always just trying to cover for the right by trying to point out bad things the left has done and saying it's equal in both sides, but it's a false equivalency. This is a logical fallacy called false equivalence, and it's bullshit, and we see right fucking through you when you do it, right? You're transparent. Although it does work. I mean, his fans, he gets huge clicks and he gets huge views, and his fans love it because they don't really give a shit about the truth. They love being lied to, as I said. Yeah, this is a reply to Paul Joseph Watson. Just as all Muslims are not to blame for Islamic terror attacks. And this person says, you see, I don't blame all Muslims for Islamic terrorist attacks. I just use Islamic terror attacks to justify reducing the immigration of all Muslims into the countries. But I don't blame them. Yeah, that's exactly what you do, Paul. You blame them. You use that as a justification to make people afraid of Muslims, to make people afraid of immigrants, and to try to get them banned from the country or not invited to the country. It's exactly what you do. Like, why can't you people just own your shit, right? We see right through it. It's not like it's fucking hard to understand what you're doing. I mean, I guess I understand because your fan base doesn't really see through it. Your fan base is very, very dim bulbs, very low wattage in the brain. So I guess it's working for you, but the rest of us can see through it. All right, let me skip over here and read the super chats again, if I have any. Where the fuck would that be? Oh, here it is. Okay, nope, that was wrong. Nope, it's not wrong. Here we go. Super chats. Boom, here we go. The progressive, no, already got that one. I am Batman says, live long, Dusty, longtime fan. Thanks, dude. Mark Mosley says, love me some Dusty. YFBSpood.com and enjoy. Okay, cool. Francisco Acevedo says, do you think Southern racism and homophobia have to do with compensating over incest or the perception of others towards it? By the way, opinion on David Koch-Rubin. Yeah, obviously a lot of people who are homophobic are themselves dealing with their own issues of like homosexuality. This is something that comes out again and again with preachers, you know, like Jerry Falwell Jr., who bought a gay flop house with his pool boy. It happens over and over again. So yeah, that's probably a lot to do with it. A lot of it to do with it is like the culture we're raised in makes it very shameful to be gay. It's seen as unmanly. You're not manly if you're gay and shit like that. It's so even if people don't really have a problem with gay people, they have to pretend like they do because that's what culture expects from them. Like, it's like when I was young, I talked about this in the last video, how when I was young, I was way more racist because it was just expected. If you're white and you're hanging around your friends, it was expected for you to kind of be racist. And even like I had black friends. Like I didn't really have anything against black people. I didn't really care. But since it was the cool thing to say the N-word and shit and be racist, you know, I just kind of went along with it because I was a dumb kid and didn't know any better. And I think that's what a lot of the rednecks do, and a lot of reason that they're so homophobic is they think it's expected of them. You know, people are just so worried about what other people are going to think about them, and they're so worried about being socially awkward that they just go along. So, let's see. Thank you, Dusty, for changing my bum life with your videos. Keep it up, brother. Also, just curious, do you have a favorite MMA fighter? This was P for P Tiramisu that said this. By the way, I appreciate that. I don't think I did anything. All the credit goes to you, but I'm honored to have helped you in any way I did. I like John Jones. I think John Jones is probably the greatest fighter in the history of the world, although he can't seem to stay off the juice. Doesn't seem to care enough about his fans to stay off the juice. So I'm really disappointed in his behavior, but as far as fighting goes, I mean, how can you argue that the guy is probably the best fighter ever? He's fucking amazing. Stop ignoring Comic Gators. They're flooding YouTube. Okay, I will look into the Comic Gator thing, Mark Norris says. Parker Aguirre says, speak the truth. I will try, dude. I will try. $5 from somebody who retracted their message. Don't know why. Patty Anderson. Thanks, Patty, for $2. Love you. Okay, I think that's all of them for now. So next up, let me make sure the chat is still... I guess I can read a few from the regular chat real fast. I don't want to skip over everybody in the regular chat who is asking me questions just because you didn't pay me. Although if you pay me, I will definitely read your questions, so you definitely should pay me. Let's see. Restream chat. It always takes so long to load. Goddamn Restream. All right, let's see. PewDiePie is an edgelord. Of course he's going to attract the shit stains of society. Exactly. You know, he attracts the 8chaners and the 4chaners because that's the low level of content that he puts out, in my opinion. I think it's a low level content. Now, other people disagree. Other people, you're just jealous, Dusty. You're just jealous. But there's other people that are way popular than me that I'm not jealous of. Like ContraPoints. ContraPoints way more popular than me. I ain't jealous of ContraPoints. Just awesome. Like Sean Jen, like that video he just did. I got 1 million views. I ain't jealous of Sean Jen. He did an awesome job. Fucking H-Bomber guy. I ain't jealous of H-Bomber guy. I ain't jealous of these people because they're more popular than me. I'm just pointing out the things that, you know, I think some popular people are not good. You know, and that's my opinion. Has nothing to do with jealousy. But anyway, yeah, the kid has more subscribers than people that died in World War II. It's really insane. He's like a hoarder of subscribers. Subscribe to T-Series. I like T-Series. My first girlfriend was Indian, and we used to hang out and watch Bollywood movies between sex sessions every Sunday when I was sneaking her window. And I became to love Bollywood movies. I think they're cool as shit. And so T-Series I have no problem with. I think the hate about T-Series is ridiculous, in my opinion. I think a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, especially the 8channer and the 4channers, see T-Series as these brown people who are invading YouTube and going to take over. It's almost like the white replacement thing. So they think you have to support PewDiePie, this white dude, to make sure these brownies don't come in and take over. Like I said, I'm not saying everybody who supports PewDiePie or wants you to subscribe to PewDiePie feels that way. I think it's probably a minority of people that feel this way, but there are definitely some that do think about it this way, in my opinion. Man, that's a lot of questions, and they're not scrolling down. This chat does not work shit, dude. What the fuck, Restream? Gotta get your shit together. Scroll down. Let's see what that says. But he needs to beat T-Series, yeah. Like it's really gonna make any difference. Like it makes any fucking difference who is number one on YouTube. No difference whatsoever. The algorithm will change 0 depending on who fucking is in number one spot on YouTube. They don't give a shit about that, and the fact that you think they give a shit about that just shows how susceptible you guys are to marketing. It's just a marketing ploy to get you to give these multimillionaires tens of free millions of dollars in free advertising, and it's working beautifully because most of you are dumb bulbs who can't see through this obviously marketing ploy. So anyway, yeah, destroying the planet to own the libs. That's what they do. Anything to own the libs. Like literally anything they think would trigger the libs. But it doesn't trigger us. For the most part, we just roll your eyes at you and think you're a dumbass. But, you know, it doesn't matter to them. Dusty, you look good. Thank you. I feel good. I feel good. I knew that I would now. I disagree about Mexicans taking jobs nobody wants. When they get management positions, they only hire each other. Okay, maybe. I think there's some evidence that Mexicans are coming in and taking jobs nobody wants. I mean, even Trump, what is it, his golf course, they hire lots of, I wouldn't say illegal, but lots of Mexicans from Mexico. They bus them in to work at the golf course because they claim no Americans want those jobs. So even Trump says that's true. So you gonna argue with Trump on this? Shapiro said tax cuts and spending cuts increase growth. It slows. Spending has a plus 170 $1 force multiplier for GDP. Tax cuts have 0.04 cents for upper income across the board. 0.35 cents GDP. $1 cut in tax. Yeah, it's just the same trickle down economics bullshit. They always fucking say. They've been saying this thing ever since I was a kid. It doesn't work. The evidence suggests it doesn't work, but they don't give a shit because the rich people have always been very good about conning people into letting them keep all their money, you know, and to continue to hoard this money. And to keep the wealth disparity growing between us. And the way they do that is they pit us against each other and they make us think, oh, your real problem is not rich people. It's those other poor people over there. It's the blacks getting welfare. That's your real problem. It's the Mexicans, you know. It's not the fucking 1% or the 0.001% who own half the wealth in the world. No, they're not the problem. It's the fucking poor people. And a lot of people, you know, are very susceptible to this message, you know, because rich people have plenty of money to advertise this stuff to support. Like, that's the reason, like, if you look at YouTube has almost completely been taken over by the right wing now. I'm doing a video on Captain Marvel that should be out tomorrow. I watched 6 hours of Captain Marvel footage from videos from anti-SJWs. And these videos are all like seeing 500, 600,000 times. Somebody can just sit down and like speak for 5 minutes with no edits, just a shitty video. It'll get seen 500,000 times because conservatives, these conservative talking points have fucking taken over. And I think a big part of the reason is because they're being supported by these rich motherfuckers. Somebody just asked me about the Koch brothers and Dave Rubin. And it's not just Dave Rubin, not just the Koch brothers supporting Dave Rubin. It's other billionaires who have a conservative agenda who are supporting these people. And so when the money is being poured into this, obviously the content is going to be created to soak up this money. And it's very hard for people like me to compete because, like, I don't have any billionaires funding me. Like J.F. Garapay. You guys know who that is? The white nationalist dipshit who his podcast was originally funded by Jeffrey Epstein, who is a conservative pedophile, owned a pedophile island. And he gave J.F. Garapay $25,000 to start his podcast, you know? So it's really hard for people like me, who I think I cleared $8,000 last year, to compete with people like that who get $25,000 from billionaires, you know, and that's just one payment. That's not including all the other money he makes from all the other people. Just one person gave him $25,000. So, like, how can you compete with that? And that's the big reason I think that YouTube is so inundated with these conservatives now. The Massacre guy was trolling hard with this comment, and Dusty is unwillingly failing right into his trap. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's obvious some of what he was saying was trolling, but the white replacement stuff, I mean, why do you think he went in and killed all those Muslims? He obviously is buying the white replacement theory. I mean, it's ridiculous to say otherwise. Or you think he just went in and killed the 49 Muslims because he was trolling? Like, how big of idiots are you motherfuckers? I mean, you'll literally explain away anything. Other than to keep from taking responsibility for this shit, you'll literally believe fucking anything. It's ridiculous. Like, how can I even take you guys seriously? I really can't. Anyway, there's so many fucking questions. How long has this show been going on? Oh, shit, I've already done an hour. Okay, well, I'm going to end the show now. Fuck. God damn it, there was so much I wanted to get into. Let me just go through this real quick. You helped to foster the toxic race culture that formed him. Yeah, somebody's talking to Lauren Southern. They're bitching at her. They should. You did foster the toxic racist culture that helped form him. I mean, own your shit, bitch. Own it. Here's an article about this from Jared Holt. I was going to go through it, but I guess I don't have time now. A lot of people don't like Jared Holt, but it's a good article he wrote, so whatever. Go look at it. And this is more about Tim Pool pretending to be a liberal, but he's always like standing for these conservatives, and like here he is with a bunch of other conservatives doing the okay side. Are you triggered, liberals? Look how racist we are. Are you triggered? No, I'm eye rolling at you, you dipshits. So good company you're keeping there, Tim. Excellent company. You're Lauren Southern and the Proud Boys dude. Okay, I already showed that. Oh yeah, these are comments from some of the 4chaners, some of the assholes that follow the New Zealand mosque shooting guy. You know, this is the level people are. Wish I could buy him a beer. Top job, well done. Top job, bloke. Awesome job, bloke. Go Baza. This interrupted the midday movie, for fuck's sakes. Time to rise up and take out the trash. I mean, it's just... See, this is why people like this do this. They're literally being supported by these 4 and 8chaners who think this shit is cool. They literally think going out and murdering Muslims is cool. That's how edgy they are. They've reached peak edginess. You know, just... all they care about is acting like the most giant pieces of shit they can possibly act like to own the libs to the most extreme level possible, even mass murdering people. That's how insane these people have gotten. Team New Zealand, fuck yeah, he should have been yelling durka 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 while shooting those clowns. Badge of honor. Anyway. A few less Muslims, who cares? I mean, these people, like, I wish people would find out who these people are and they would just publicly shame them. I know that people are like, we shouldn't dox. You should never dox anybody. But I don't know. Let's dox these motherfuckers. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these motherfuckers doing this and supporting mass murderers. They should be doxed. Their employers should be knowing that they're on fucking line encouraging this shit, you know? Their families should know. Their friends should know. Their churches should know. Everybody should know what you motherfuckers are doing. You should not be able to hide. Fuck. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah. More on PewDiePie. Yeah, you're signal boosting, dude. Like, you absolutely are signal boosting. There's no doubt about it. With your Ben Shapiro standing, Jordan Peterson standing, your Pepe standing, yelling the N-word, all of it. You know, right? Let's see if I can click on that bigger picture. I can't really see it. But anyway, you guys get the point. We've talked about PewDiePie enough. Fuck PewDiePie. Tired of this motherfucker. Seriously. Enough. Yeah, pretending that these identical mass murderers are not fundamentally born out of right-wing ideology is frankly emboldening terrorism. Yeah, you guys are completely, constantly trying to explain this shit away, when you really can't. It's obvious what is happening here. It's obvious that these right-wing ideologies lead to violence. It happens over and fucking over and fucking over again. And you guys can't explain it away. You can't deny it. And you can't try to wash away your culpability in this. You have to fucking own this shit. Well, you don't have to, but we can make you own it. Absolutely. Boogie's fucking hilarious. So, 49 Muslims get killed. It's not going to load up this. Yeah, 49 Muslims gets killed. And Boogie, what does he do? He apologizes to PewDiePie. Dude, I'm so sorry to see your name in all this. I can't imagine the pain you were feeling. Know that you are well loved by many, including me. Yes, dude. My first thoughts were definitely with PewDiePie. Not the families. Not the people that were gotten murdered and shit. Not any of that. PewDiePie, that's where my sympathies lie. The multi-millionaire who, will continue to be a multi-millionaire, will continue to be one of the most famous people on earth. That's who I feel bad for in this situation. Man, I can't believe how fast this time goes by. Shit, I was going to play this video from Vic Berger. It's 5 minutes. I can't play it, though. It's too long. Shit. Okay, let me skip it. All right, already covered that. I guess I'm just going to end the show now. Like I said, I was going to do an hour, and we're already over to the hour point. We're an hour and 15 in. So we'll finish it up by reading the final live chat. See what we got. Chill Out says, you can't. Okay, I don't know what that means. Live long, Dusty, longtime fan. Okay, I guess that's it. That's all the super chats I got. I didn't get very many super chats this time. You guys didn't support me very much this time, but okay, I guess that's fine. If you guys like this, if you enjoy this podcast, support it, Otherwise, I'm going to quit doing it and just focus on my videos. If you guys, don't really give a shit about this, then I just won't do it anymore. It's simple as that. But if you guys want me to keep doing this, please support it. I have a Patreon just for this. Patreon.com/Cult of Dusty. No, I'm sorry. Patreon.com/CODcast. That's the one for this. You can even go to my website, cultofdusty.com, buy a t-shirt. You can send me direct PayPal tips to cultofdusty2@gmail.com. So if you like this, please support it, and I will keep doing it. And if not, I will fuck off and not do this anymore. It's up to you guys. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed the show. I love you guys. I will be back Monday with Jacqueline Glenn. And also we have Destiny, very popular YouTuber Destiny, will be on the show. Hopefully sometime next week, if not the next week after that. So you guys be sure to send me questions in. You want me to ask these guys. And I'm trying to get other good guests on here. I'm working on it. So hopefully this will become a thing you guys enjoy. Love you guys, and as always, until next time, Logic. Fuck yes. Bye, dudes.